What would you do if a single sentence, spoken without thought, suddenly changed the future of an entire family? And what if that sentence was spoken by a mother who had no idea what her sons had brought home? This is the extraordinary story at the heart of the Vaivāhika Parva, the section of the Mahabharata that tells us how Draupadī became the wife of the 5 Pāṇḍavas. But this is not simply a story about a marriage. It is a story about destiny, duty, family, divine intervention, and one of the most unusual marriages in the great Indian epic. Our story begins immediately after the dramatic SVAYAÄVARA of Draupadī. The greatest kings and warriors of Bhārata had gathered in Pāñcāla to compete for the hand of King Drupada's daughter. The challenge had been almost impossible. A warrior had to string a mighty bow and strike the eye of a rotating fish while looking only at its reflection in water. One by one, powerful warriors had failed. Then an unknown Brahmin stepped forward. It was actually Arjuna, one of the 5 Pāṇḍavas, who were living in disguise after escaping the destruction of the House of Lag. With extraordinary concentration, Arjuna accomplished what seemed impossible. The arrow struck the target. Draupadī placed the ceremonial garland around his neck. The victory immediately created another problem. The assembled kings were furious that an apparently unknown Brahmin had won the princess of Pāñcāla. Weapons were drawn. The peaceful SVAYAÄVARA suddenly turned into a fierce battle. Bhima and Arjuna stood together and defended themselves against the angry warriors. Eventually, the Pāṇḍavas escaped with Draupadī and returned to the humble home where they were living with their mother, Kuntī. And now comes the moment that will change everything. The Pāṇḍavas called out to their mother from outside. They announced that they had brought something remarkable home. Kuntī, busy with her work and without seeing what her sons had brought, replied casually that they should share it equally among themselves. She did not know that the thing they had brought home was a person, Draupadī. When Kuntī came outside and saw the princess standing before her, she immediately realized what had happened. Her words had created a profound dilemma. Could a mother's spoken command simply be ignored? Could Draupadī become the wife of only Arjuna? Or was there a deeper reason why Kuntī had spoken those words? Imagine being in Kuntī's position. Would you insist that your sons obey your words because a mother's word must be honored? Or would you immediately withdraw the command because you had spoken without knowing the situation? Tell us what you would do in the comments. The Pāṇḍavas themselves were uncertain. Yudhishthira, the eldest brother, was deeply concerned about what should happen. He understood that the matter was not simply about personal desire. It involved Dharma, family unity, and the future of the Pāṇḍavas. Draupadī herself was also faced with an extraordinary situation. She had chosen Arjuna at the SVAYAÄVARA. Now she was being asked to consider a marriage unlike anything she had expected. At this point, the great sage Vyasa entered the story. Vyasa explained that what appeared to be an accident was actually connected to a much older destiny, according to the traditional account. Draupadī had a previous birth in which she performed intense austerities and prayed to Lord Shiva for a husband possessing many exceptional qualities. She desired a husband who would be righteous, powerful, courageous, skilled, and wise. In her intense prayer, she repeated her request multiple times. Lord Shiva granted her wish, but in a way she did not expect. In her next birth, she would have 5 husbands. Those 5 husbands would be the 5 Pāṇḍavas. Yudhishthira embodied righteousness and wisdom. Bhima possessed extraordinary physical strength and courage. Arjuna was unmatched in martial skill and concentration. Nakula was renowned for his beauty, grace, and knowledge. Sahadeva was known for wisdom and intelligence. Together, the 5 brothers represented qualities that Draupadī had desired. The marriage, therefore, was presented not as a random accident but as the fulfillment of an ancient destiny. But there was still another question. How could such a marriage be accepted according to Dharma? The Mahabharata does not treat the matter casually. Sages and elders discuss it. Yudhishthira, who is deeply concerned with righteousness, ultimately accepts the marriage. The sage Vyasa confirms that there is a divine purpose behind it. King Drupada, Draupadī's father, is initially astonished. He had expected his daughter to marry one great warrior. Now he learns that she is destined to marry 5 brothers. At first, this seems impossible, but after hearing the explanation of the sages and understanding the divine circumstances surrounding Draupadi's birth and destiny, Drupada accepts the arrangement. The marriage ceremonies are then prepared. One by one, Draupadi becomes formally united with the 5 Pāṇḍavas. The exact arrangements of the marriage are described differently across later traditions, but the central event is clear. Draupadi becomes the wife of Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. The 5 brothers now share not only their kingdom and destiny, but also their relationship with Draupadi. A remarkable rule is established to maintain harmony among them. Each brother would spend a period of time with Draupadi, while the others would respect their privacy. The arrangement was intended to prevent jealousy and preserve unity among the brothers. The story also establishes serious consequences for anyone who violated this agreement. This becomes particularly important later in the Mahabharata when Arjuna accidentally enters a private situation involving Draupadi and another brother. But that is a story for another episode. For now, the marriage transforms the position of the Pāṇḍavas. They are no longer simply 5 princes wandering in disguise. They have become connected to the powerful kingdom of Pāñcāla. King Drupada is now their ally. Draupadi becomes the bridge between 2 great royal families. And suddenly, the political balance of Bharatavarsha begins to change. News of the Pāṇḍavas' survival eventually reaches the wider world. The Kuru kingdom can no longer pretend that the 5 brothers are dead. This is a major turning point. The Pāṇḍavas have survived. They have gained an influential ally, and they have married one of the most extraordinary women in the epic. But perhaps the most important question is this: was this marriage a blessing, a burden, or both? Draupadi's life would never be simple. She would become queen. She would experience great happiness. She would also experience humiliation, exile, loss, and suffering. Her relationship with the 5 Pāṇḍavas would become one of the central threads of the entire Mahabharata. Yet the Vaivāhika Parva reminds us that great destinies often begin with moments that appear ordinary or accidental. One careless sentence from Kuntī, one impossible archery contest, one garland placed around Arjuna's neck, one decision by a mother and her sons. Together, these events change the future of an entire dynasty. There is another important lesson here. The Pāṇḍavas could have allowed jealousy to divide them. Instead, they accepted a difficult arrangement and created rules to preserve their unity. Their greatest strength was not simply Bhima's physical power or Arjuna's archery. It was their ability to remain brothers despite extraordinary circumstances. Now it's your turn. Do you think Kuntī's words should have influenced the marriage? Do you believe the marriage was primarily the result of destiny, or did the characters themselves make the crucial choices? And perhaps the biggest question of all, if you were one of the Pāṇḍavas, would you have accepted such an unusual marriage in order to preserve family unity? Share your thoughts in the comments. The Vaivāhika Parva is therefore much more than the story of a wedding. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in the lives of the Pāṇḍavas. They have found a powerful ally. They have revealed that they are alive. Draupadi has entered their lives, and the political landscape of the Kuru dynasty has begun to shift. The brothers who once wandered through forests disguised as Brahmins are now moving back toward their rightful place in the world of kings, but their return will not be peaceful. The Kauravas will soon learn that the Pāṇḍavas are alive. The question of inheritance will return, and the struggle for the kingdom will become unavoidable. The marriage of Draupadi and the 5 Pāṇḍavas has therefore set the stage for events far greater than anyone present at the wedding could have imagined. From this moment forward, Draupadi is no longer simply the princess of Pāñcāla. She becomes one of the central figures in the destiny of the Pāṇḍavas and eventually one of the most powerful voices in the entire Mahabharata. The Vaivāhika Parva teaches us that destiny can arrive unexpectedly. Sometimes it comes through a great victory, sometimes through a difficult decision, and sometimes through words spoken without knowing how powerful they will become. The Pāṇḍavas have found their queen. Draupadi has found her 5 husbands. Pāñcāla has found powerful allies, and the great story of the Mahabharata moves one step closer to its inevitable confrontation. In our next episode, we will continue with the events that follow the marriage, as the Pāṇḍavas' survival becomes known and their relationship with the Kuru kingdom begins to change forever. Until then, remember, a single moment can change a life, a single decision can change a family, and sometimes what appears to be an accident may become the beginning of a destiny that reaches far beyond anything we could have imagined.